tighter, looser?
Would everyone please stand and bow their heads for the opening prayer? Dear God, thank you for bringing all of us here safely this afternoon and for allowing classmates, friends, teachers, and families to spend one final day together in celebration of our high school graduates. You have helped us get to this point today and will continue to guide us in the future. Thank you, God, for our graduates and all the hard work they have put in to make it here today. Help us to honor them and everyone who has aided in their schooling journeys in this ceremony. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Please remain standing and join me in saying of the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic in which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Graduation Day is a day of celebration. It is a day where our families, friends, and classmates can reflect on the countless memories we have shared over the past 4 years. It is also a day of anticipation for what comes after high school. Sitting before us are 143 students who all have extraordinarily different and bright futures ahead of them. Today is the first step towards a life of great success. This day would not have been possible without the support from our families, friends, classmates, and teachers. To our families, your love and support have shaped who we are today and who we will become. Even though sometimes it is hard to tell, we appreciate you more than anyone. Thank you. To our teachers, you supported us even when senioritis got the better of most of us and never gave up on us, no matter how difficult it was to get us to see the potential hidden within us. Thank you. And finally, to our friends and classmates, we have shared smiles and tears, happiness and sadness, successes and struggles, and all of these have allowed us to grow together as a class and become prepared to take the next step in our lives, knowing we will always have each other. Thank you. Finally, Ralph Waldo Emerson truly captures the theme of graduation and of life as we move forward with his quote, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are small matters compared to what lies within us." As we go forth, may we always look back on our 4 years of high school and remember all of the times we were proud to wave the blue and gold. Once a Rough Rider, always a Rough Rider. Congratulations to the class of 2019. At this time, I would like to introduce the speaker for the class of 2019. She was involved in many activities in high school, such as band, cross-country, track, National Honor Society, prom committee, and Interact Club, as well as many activities outside of school, including Buckeye Girls State, the Molten Lucky Livestock Raisers 4-H Club, Junior Fair Board, and with all of her extra spare time, she started the Fun Run Club at the intermediate school to promote cross-country. It is safe to say that she represents everyone in every activity in the class of 2019. Please help me welcome our 2019 class-elected speaker, Morgan Henchen.
Good afternoon.
I would like to welcome and thank teachers, parents, and fellow members of the St. Mary's community who have come to share this important day with my fellow classmates and me. But before we actually take our final steps to receiving our diplomas, I'd like to share some stories, memories, and hardships we've had to face to get us to where we are today. Starting our school journey out as first graders, half of us ventured to East Elementary, while the others are stuck out in West Elementary. Yep, that's right, I was from East School, and boy did we compete for the title of the best school. Everything we did was a competition, and even after we reunited and joined schools, we still had pride in our elementary school we attended. During our elementary years, we all dreamed of the new school and what it would be like for us. Our class is given the opportunity to tour where we'd be attending middle school and high school, and we actually signed the subfloor of this very gymnasium. I can even remember the spot where I signed the floor, and I never dreamed I'd be given this honor to give the final speech during our graduation ceremony. The class of 2019 was also the last class to have the Glen Helen trip during our winter of our 6th grade year. Following the Glen Helen trip, we traveled to Washington, D.C., where we were given the honor of shaking the hands of World War II veterans. This trip really opened our eyes to the sacrifices people in this wonderful country are willing to make for our freedom. This experience also inspired several of my classmates to follow in their footsteps and join one of the branches of military. Today, as you look out into the crowd of graduates, you may see some of them wearing red, white, and blue colored cords signifying their future service to our country. As our 8th grade year came to an end, I was given the privilege to give the closing speech at our 8th grade recognition ceremony. Within this speech, I highlighted the future of the next chapter of our lives. And today, as I reflect over the content of my 8th grade speech, I understand how fast moments become memories, and I've certainly had some great memories with this class. Beginning our high school career as freshmen, we all showed up to school early with our backpacks on and a feeling of excitement and fear. Walking into school, we could never understand why upperclassmen would give us dirty looks when we walked on the left side of the hallway. Well, that was until we became upperclassmen and had to deal with the new freshmen who didn't understand the rules of the hallways. Showing up late to class because we didn't realize that 200 numbers were the second floor and the 100 numbers was the first floor was something we did constantly. After what felt like forever, our freshman year slowly came to an end and we became the sophisticated sophomores. This was the year we started to figure out who we were and started to become more confident in our choices and decisions. Some of us also received our driver's license our sophomore year, which gave us a sense of independence and a taste of freedom. Being able to drive came with responsibilities, and some of us even learned the consequences with a speeding ticket or two. This newly found confidence motivated us to try new things and even join clubs that allowed us to venture to new places and events. I personally enjoyed the 26-hour band trip to San Antonio, Texas, where many of us were given the opportunity to represent our school in one of Texas's biggest parades. The year 2016 also became the first year of now 3 consecutive years of being WBL champions in football. Along with our successes in football, the boys bowling team was state champions, with many of our fellow classmates being members of that team. And for the first time since 1985, the girls cross-country team made an appearance at the state meet, joined by Minster, of course. Feeling all-powerful about all of our successes, we came into junior year with a new sense of pride and determination. Starting off our year right, the football team finished their season with a perfect 9-0 record, beating all of our WBL opponents. As Rough Rider athletics continued to prosper, so did the Cowbell Mafia. Their support was greatly appreciated and heard by every Rough Rider athlete and our competitors. Some even tried to imitate the sound produced by our mob of bell-ringing fans, but no one could rival that sound. As the 2018 year continued to linger on, some juniors caught senioritis early, and school started to become a hardship. Along with many of us taking college courses, we started to feel as if high school would never end. We also came to the understanding that high school, along with life, has its good times and its bad times. During our junior year, we lost a member of our class in a tragic car accident. Kennedy Marie Schreiber was a sweet, fun-loving girl who was full of energy and surprises. She never failed to put a smile on your face with her crazy laugh and her ability to enjoy life. We lost another member of our class during the summer after our freshman year. Emily K. Remke was just joining our class when she was involved in a terrible accident. Emily was a natural track athlete and an easygoing kind of girl who left us too soon. As we sit here today, getting ready to graduate, I truly believe that Emily and Kennedy are up in heaven with a smile on their faces, watching and celebrating this day with us. As these times of tragic loss proved to be a struggle for us, we found strength in each other and a strong bond of friendship that continues to inspire us and continue even after we prepare for the next step of our lives. Starting the senior year with mixed emotions, my classmates and I developed a special kind of friendship that continues to empower us throughout the year. This was a year of big decisions and expectations. As I reflect back on the accomplishments my classmates have achieved this year, I believe we exceeded those expectations. The class of 2019 was WBL champions for the third straight year and made it to the state Final Four in football. Girls soccer and boys and girls bowling teams were the WBL champions, with the boys and girls bowling team winning a state championship. The band and choir both received a superior rating and were given the opportunity to participate at state competition. Choir ended up going to state and receiving the highest rating, which they have done for 2 consecutive years. Our boys golf team was WBL champs, and our girls basketball team won back-to-back sectional championships. But that's not all. Our girls softball team's winning streak was the longest they've had it in 5 years, and our St. Mary's FFA chapter was named one of the top 10 in the nation. With all that said, the class of 2019 has definitely had a successful and well-rounded high school career. In our school years, we have seen a new school, a new stadium, and a new sense of pride in the community that supported us on a recent levy. As I stand here today, I am proud to say I am a Rough Rider, and I will always proudly wear and wave the blue and gold. When we leave here today, our lives will go in different directions. As some of us may head off to college, others will join the workforce, and still others will serve this great country. But we will always continue to challenge ourselves and have a sense of Rough Rider pride in our hearts. Today is a celebration of all the hard work we have invested into the past 4 years. Today is a day when we can finally say we have done it. It is a milestone in our lives that we can gather together and celebrate the successes we've had. It is a time to reflect back on all of our high school memories and look forward to our next adventure. Today is not the end, but a new beginning to a new horizon in which you are free to create your own path. Always remember to have courage and to follow your heart. Hold close the guidance, dedication, and education that has been taught to us by our dedicated teachers and parents. So in closing, I'd like to paraphrase the ending of Dr. Seuss's book, All the Places You Will Go. Whether your name be Davis or Danaher or Dunlap, or Hemmelgarn or Hertenstein or Hines, or Seward or Sloan or Smith, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Congratulations and best wishes to the class of 2019. Now I'd like to introduce our superintendent, Mr. Bill Ruane, to the stage.
Thank you, Morgan. Excellent job. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this wonderful graduation ceremony. As a Memorial High School graduate from the class of 2000, I am extremely blessed and honored to stand before you today as superintendent of St. Mary's City Schools. To the parents, family, friends, community members, and staff, I want to thank you for your support you have shown these students and our school district. As Morgan has said, it has been an outstanding year to be a Rough Rider. To the class of 2019, I am extremely proud of you. As your former principal and now your superintendent, I have had the privilege and honor over the past 4 years of watching you grow and mature into confident young men and women ready to take on the world. As we gather here today to celebrate the culmination of 13 years in the public school system as a Rough Rider, please remember, this is a celebration of your foundation for education. For education is a lifelong journey and not a destination. Whatever your future holds, whatever pathway you take, continue to learn, continue to grow, continue to set lofty goals, and continue to work your hardest to accomplish those goals. As high school principal, I always shared with the graduating classes what I coined the Rough Rider Creed. So here it goes. You are a Rough Rider. Don't forget it. Saddle up. The ride will often be rough. You may get thrown from the horse a time or two. Get back on. Brush the dirt off. Ride on. Hang tough. Enjoy the rodeo and make us proud. Remember, once a rider, always a rider. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the 2019 graduation speaker, Bruce Lawler. Bruce was born in St. Mary's and is a 1981 graduate of Memorial High School. While he was at MHS, he was a member of the Algebra 2 team that placed first in the state of Ohio. Bruce attended Purdue University, where he received his bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering and was a President's Honor Award recipient. In 1990, he was awarded the LGO Fellowship to attend MIT, where he obtained both a Master's of Science in Engineering and an MBA from MIT's Sloan School. Most of Bruce's career has been as a serial entrepreneur and venture capitalist. In 1998, he founded a company to deliver digital video over the internet and had a successful IPO 2 years later. In 2001, he founded a venture capital firm focused on investing in mobile phone technology. He invested in other successful entrepreneurs like Andy Rubin, the inventor of the Android phone that most of you have in your pockets right now. In 2003, he founded a company to write applications for mobile phones, which he sold to Motorola. Bruce is now back at MIT helping to create the future of artificial intelligence as the managing director of machine intelligence. Bruce's parents were lifelong supporters of education in St. Mary's. For many years, his father, Ned, and his mother, Doris, served on the school board and library board, respectively. Between the two of them, I'm told they served on those two boards for a combined total of over 80 years. They also established the Lawler Family Scholarship, which has provided thousands of dollars to Memorial graduates to help them further their educations. Continuing that commitment to education, Bruce and his wife, Lisa, recently established a robotics lab for the St. Mary's Middle School. Bruce returns to St. Mary's today from his home in Massachusetts to address the class of 2019. Please help me welcome Bruce Lawler.
Thank you, Superintendent Ruane. It's fantastic to be back. This is an impressive facility. I'd like to thank Mary Miller and Brooke Gray for suggesting I come back. They've done a fantastic job with the robotics lab, and I hope the community will continue to support and expand that vision. My parents would be so proud to see how the community continues to support its students with fantastic facilities like this and the time and the caring that all of you give. As Superintendent Ruane mentioned, I've spent most of my career as an entrepreneur in technology. I study emerging trends, I identify opportunities, and then I build teams to capitalize on those opportunities. But today I want to talk to you about your opportunity. You are now entrepreneurs. I'd like to take you on an entrepreneurial journey today if I can. So there's no prescribed path for you going forward, and you're not building companies, but you are building lives, you're building friendships, and you're building families. So I'd like to divide this journey into 3 parts. First, understand your situation, your capabilities, what the world's like around you. Second, where things are headed, the trends, and what that world is going to look like at some point in the future. And then third, how to develop a path to get from where you are to where you think the world might be. So let's start with your current situation. And wow is kind of the first word that comes to mind. I mean, I look at this state-of-the-art facility you've all been educated in with a very forward-thinking, engaged set of teachers. I mean, the accomplishments. I thought my class was great. No, you guys are knocking it out of the park. So, fantastic launch. And then I had the chance to drive around yesterday, and I saw all the factories on McKinley Road. And the thing about factories is they build them where their most important resource is. And so when you drive along and you see the job postings and the opportunities for advancement, it makes it very clear that the most important resource that they have is all of you. So now let's expand out and look a little bit at the world. The world is literally the best it has ever been. I realize it doesn't always feel like it, but just as an example, today more people die from too much food than too little. When I was in your seat, it was the exact opposite. It's not good, but it's a solvable problem. Food has never been cheaper or more plentiful. You have one of the best FFA programs in the world, and it is through their efforts over decades that this has come to be true. The efficiency of the farming in this area and how it's transformed is phenomenal. When St. Mary's was founded in 1823, 85% of the world population lived in extreme poverty. Life expectancy was 30. Most of you, frankly, would have died by the time you were 5 or before you were 5. So today, only 9% of the world is in extreme poverty. The point of that is the world is getting better much faster. Poor countries are getting richer faster than rich countries are getting richer. And as countries get richer, they want more food, they want better food, and they want more manufactured products. And where do those come from? Great places like St. Mary's. So it's really important to have a fundamental belief that the world is getting better, to give you the confidence to go out, to risk, to fail, to try, to succeed, and to celebrate your successes. I know I felt really confident coming out of this place, and you certainly should too. So a great foundation. Now let's talk about some of the trends that are going on in the world. So $1 billion. When I sat in your chair, the processing power in this cell phone cost $1 billion. When I was born, at the same time that we were preparing to go to space, that processing power cost $1 trillion. Wasn't even possible really to do. Today, just the processing power in your phone, just the computer part, is $20. So just a phenomenal change. And once again, the point is how quickly things are changing. Telecommunications cost is another example. I remember my first cell phone bills were over $1,000. And that was just for voice, something none of you even use today. At least that's what your parents say, right? So artificial light, you don't even think about the cost of light, but it's come down thousands of times over the course of history. And that little LED bulb you just screwed in uses 1/10 the power of the already efficient bulb that it replaced. So great, things are moving fast, we get it, what's next? Well, you've got things like artificial intelligence, gene sequencing and editing, solar panels are all on that same curve, that same incredible decline. Now, it takes decades for those effects to kick in, but those are the kinds of trends that are out there and they're visible if you go look for them. So let's talk about the third step. What do you do about all of that? So how do you capitalize on those changes and the great opportunities that are going to come before you? So many of you parents remember Paul Hirschberger, basketball coach here. Get in front of the ball, he yelled at me. He said, you have to get in front of the ball. You can't tie a tail on that guy after he runs past you. I love that visual, right? You're defending, guy comes at you, runs around you, you're going to get a tail on him and try and catch him. Never going to happen. Now, to be clear, I failed at basketball, but that doesn't mean I couldn't learn that particular lesson from it. So for me, the ball was internet video. For me, it was cell phones. For me, it was applications on smartphones. I made sure I got in front of those trends. For you, it's going to be whatever you choose it to be. So now I work at MIT, teaching computers how to think. The question I get the most often is, how do I keep a robot from stealing my job? Well, for you, the real questions are, how do you not pick a job that a robot might take, or a machine, and more importantly, how do you get that job that a robot is going to enable, right? A drone pilot or a video game designer. There's so many new jobs that are going to be created. Well, the first question is easy. To keep a robot from taking your job, just do something that's got a little surprise in it every day, something a little bit different. Computers hate surprises, machines hate surprises. So be a plumber, be an electrician, a chef, an artist, a teacher, a technician, an engineer. All those jobs have surprises every single day. The second big thing is play to your strengths as a human. Do the things that computers simply can't do. What are those? And this is going to be on the final exam. It's only 4 things: collaborate, communicate, learn, and adapt. So what do I mean by that? Collaborate, work together. We are a social species, and that's what has allowed us to rise above all the other animals. We all have unique skills and points of view. We can do more together. We can create more together. Communicate. This separates us from all the other animals. We can communicate complex thoughts and ideas. Our verbal skills have allowed us to dominate all of the other animals and grow rapidly on this planet. Now, other animals like whales and dolphins and wolves, they all communicate, but it's more like sending text messages. Where are you? I'm over here. I'm hungry. There's food over here. Sound familiar? So, talk more, text less. Learn. Humans are really good at learning, better than all the other animals, and despite what you read, computers really don't learn. They have to be taught very, very carefully. I know many of you thought learning was complete today. Sorry, it's not. It's really just the beginning. You're going to have to be a lifelong learner. The main source of wealth of nations is going to come from knowledge and creativity going forward. Now, I realize college may not be in the future of all of you, but that is totally fine. There are so many technical schools, online schools that are out there that are fantastic. All the top universities are putting their courseware on YouTube for free. So I'd still encourage to go to some form of secondary school, and I love seeing the board out there of all the different choices people are making. But even if you can't, you can go to the library or you can go home tonight and you can learn for free. The last thing is adapt. The world is changing faster than ever, and the only way you can thrive is to continually adapt, reskill, and reinvent yourself. So let me give you a story. I had some medical tests done recently. I come in and the technician is this big burly guy with calloused hands and a South Boston accent. Not exactly what you'd expect out of a medical technician. So I asked him, why, well, don't want to be judgmental. I asked him how he came to be in this position, and he said, I was the lead press operator at the Boston Globe newspaper. It's a union shop. I saw circulation declining. The paper offered me retraining. I took it. I said, I'm going to go into a profession like being a medical technician because there'll always be demand, and a robot won't ever replace me. He thought about his situation, he acted quickly, he learned, and he adapted. He got in front of the ball. So in closing, get in front of the ball. Try, fail, try again, and then try harder. Be humble. The world is so complex and rapidly changing that you cannot possibly know everything. Be curious. You will be a lifelong learner, but you have the ability to follow your curiosity. And lastly, be kind. We're a social species. We need each other, and we never really know what that other person has been through. So good luck. Go get in front of the ball because you can't tie a tail on your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lawler, for your inspirational message. Mr. Lawler is a distinguished MHS graduate who has experienced tremendous success after high school. It is because of his service to others, and especially to our community, that we asked him to come share his message with us today. We appreciate the time that Mr. Lawler has taken to be here with us today. He also met with some of our seniors in order to make his message meaningful for our graduates today. Mr. Lawler, your words will certainly resonate with our graduates. Thank you. It is an honor for me to welcome students, parents, family members, and friends as we gather here this afternoon to honor the class of 2019. I would like to thank Superintendent Mr. Bill Werwain and members of our Board of Education for participating in today's ceremony. I applaud our honor seniors who selected Morgan Henshin to speak on behalf of the class of 2019. I was fortunate enough to see Morgan speak at her 8th grade recognition, and she does a tremendous job of telling the story of your class. Morgan is an outstanding leader in academics, athletics, and community service. Morgan, thank you for your message, and we're all proud of you. Today wouldn't be possible if it weren't for the help of the many people behind the scenes. Thank you to Mr. French and Mrs. Lewis for organizing and preparing today's music. Thank you to Nathan Overley for setting up the technology that we have. This is the first time in MHS history we had a presentation set up for a graduation ceremony. I'd like to thank Mr. Hager, Mrs. Torres, Mrs. Good, Mrs. Fast, Mr. Ricker, Mrs. Kraft, Mrs. Burke, definitely Mrs. Strasberg, and Rod Williams from Herff Jones for all their assistance today. Spring Flowers put together today's beautiful flower arrangements. They also made a beautiful ribbon remembering Emily and Kennedy, who were taken from us too soon. A thank you goes to Doug Spencer from the new Writer Nation station, who is broadcasting today's program through Game Face, Ohio. Mr. Spencer interviewed former MHS principal Quint Clark and myself the other day to discuss the principalship from the 60s to today, and it was a joy to be part of that conversation. Mr. Spencer has more ideas to extend the reach of the St. Mary's community and bring those who have moved away back into touch with our great town. With this being Memorial Weekend, we are reminded of the sacrifices made by our military men and women who keep our country safe. St. Mary's Memorial High School was named after World War I as a tribute to those who have served our country. This school year, Memorial High School was recognized by the state of Ohio for the Purple Star designation. The Purple Star designation for military-friendly schools recognizes schools that show a major commitment to serving students and families connected to our nation's armed forces. Our community, students, and faculty recognize the sacrifice you have made so we can enjoy our freedoms. If you are a past or present serviceman or woman in the audience today, please stand as we thank you for your service to our country and defending our freedoms. Thank you. We have several members of this graduating class that will be serving our country in the military upon graduation. They are wearing red, white, and blue cords to designate this honor. Will you please stand and be recognized? May God bless you and protect you all. Now I would like to recognize those seniors who have earned the designation of Honor Senior. These students have maintained a 3.6 GPA throughout their 4 years in high school. Please hold your applause until all are standing. When your name is called, please stand. Alyssa Alexander, Tyler Alexander, Wyatt Bailey, Claire K. Wood, Lauren Chapman, Kara Danaher, Catherine Elsoff, Kara Ianson, Sarah Harden, Grant Harris, Jenna Hockey, Morgan Henshin, Allie Hertenstein, Nathan Joseph, Alex Kreischer, Nathan Kuffner, Meredith McMurray, Kyle Milkey, Courtney Nuss, Chloe Olear, Allison Orick, Allie, Aaliyah Patterson, Sean Perry, Mitchell Sewer, Piper Sloan, Elizabeth Sutton, Evan Tennant, Colin Thornsberry, Charles Walter, and Emma White. Thank you, seniors. You may be seated. I would now like to recognize our 2019 valedictorian, Catherine Elsoff. Catherine has a 4.8 GPA. She has taken honors and College Credit Plus classes throughout her time here at MHS. She earned a 32 on the ACT. Catherine has been a leader in the band throughout her career in high school. She was a field commander for the marching band and a captain on the girls' basketball team. Catherine will be attending West Virginia in the fall, where she will continue her studies to become a music teacher. Congratulations, Catherine, and good luck. I would also like to recognize our 2019 salutatorian, Claire Kaywood. Claire has a 4.67 GPA. She has also filled her schedule with honors courses and College Credit Plus classes. She had a 30 on her ACT. Claire has been involved in almost every club we offer, and she holds a leadership position in every club that she is a member of. She is a leader of our drumline. She has a record number of wins in girls tennis, and she is also a captain on the girls basketball team. Claire was the county's Franklin B. Walter Award recipient, president of the National Honor Society, and she's received the WBL All-Academic Award twice. Claire will be attending Bowling Green State University in the fall, where she will study communications. Congratulations, Claire, and best of luck on your endeavors. Graduates, the journey to the celebratory day is made by the support of those around you. Many of the people who guided you on this path are present in this room. I'd like to recognize those people. If you are a faculty member of St. Mary's City Schools in attendance today, please stand as we thank you for your hard work and dedication. Parents and grandparents, please stand and remain standing so we can thank you. Parents and grandparents of our graduates, thank you for your guidance, your love, and your support of your sons and daughters, especially through these trying teenage years. Please stand. I know I've given you a direction here. And please stay standing. Please stay standing. Even though the teenage years were tough, it's moments when these young men and women were babies, toddlers, and little squirts in elementary school, where your life lessons, your discipline and support has built the foundation of the product you have before you now. Graduates, please stand. Try to make eye contact with your loved ones who are in the room with you today and give them a big round of applause for all they have done for you. Please stand. You may be seated. Thank you. They're also the ones putting the money in your graduation cards. You give them a thank you. To the class of 2019, it has been my honor to be your middle school assistant principal and your high school principal of your senior year. I've enjoyed watching this class grow up together. Your athletic, musical, community service, and academic achievements have risen the bar for the Rough Riders who follow you. Thank you for your leadership. As Mr. Ruane mentioned earlier, do not let this day be a point of destination in your journey, but just a stop to recognize what you have accomplished so far. Continue to learn, to grow, and positively influence those around you. Mr. Ruane has famously coined the Rough Rider Creed with many words of wisdom. I'm not that creative or poetic as Mr. Ruane, but I do have words of wisdom for my fellow Rough Riders. I grew up in St. Mary's, but I'm originally from southern Ohio. My family is from around Chillicothe, between Chillicothe and Portsmouth. My grandparents lived on a horse ranch, and my grandfather believed he was a cowboy. He was a World War II vet who always wore cowboy boots, a cowboy hat, regular fit jeans. Those are the tight ones, but not so skin tight. and a snap-button shirt. Growing up, they had a picture on the wall that read Cowboy Code of the West. I read it every time we visited because growing up a Rough Rider, I always felt associated with being a cowboy. That sign read, "Live each day with courage. Take pride in your work. Always finish what you start. Do what has to be done. Be tough but fair. When you make a promise, keep it. Remember that some things aren't for sale, and know where to draw the line. Where cowboys live, boundaries aren't made by fences. Instead, boundaries are drawn by ethics and morals, a shared standard of right and wrong, and respect is earned from your work ethic and how you treat others. It gives me great pride to say confidently that these Rough Riders before me have been raised with a simple code of ethics, the same as the cowboys of the West. Now it's your turn to go out and influence the others with your Rough Rider way of life. Before I present this class to you, I ask all members of the audience to please hold your applause until all the graduates have received their diploma. Announcing today's graduates will be our Assistant Principal, Nick Hager. Presenting the diplomas along with me will be our Board of Education President, Mr. Brian Little, our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Bill Ruane. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pride in presenting to you St. Mary's Memorial Class of 2019.
Catherine Elsoff. Claire Kaywood. Morgan Henshin. Braxton Adams. Alyssa Alexander. Tyler Alexander. Carmen Bailey. Cedric Bailey. Wyatt Bailey. Carter Ballweg. Nicholas Billings. Preston Bodecker. Austin Bowersock. Cressy Bowman. Dylan Caudill. Lauren Chapman. Aaron Shivington. Dana Christian. Hannah Collins. Amara Crow. Lydia Davis. Kara Danaher. Caden Davis. Jonathan Dempsey. Zach Drescher. Blake Dudgeon. Braden Dunlap. Danielle Eads. Camille Elsoff. Rachel Andress. Kara Ianson. Cynthia Felver. Brooke Fowler. Edward Fowler. Olivia Frilling. Duncan Fry. Madison Fierst. Cian Guerin. Haley Green. Burkel Grunden. Michaela Harbaum. Sarah Harden. Grant Harris. Chandler Hossenjagger. Jenna Hawkey. Caleb Helmlinger. Bryce Hemmelgarn. Riley Hennon. Allie Hertenstein. Elena Hesse. Nathaniel Hickey. Shane Hines. Michelle Hoskins. Morgan Hauser. Michael Hurley. Zara Houston. Nathan Joseph. Matthew Kowalik. David Keller. Alexis Kinney. Caitlin Cook. Courtney Caper. Alex Kreischer. Gunnar Cruzy. Nathan Kuffner. Bailey Louth. Sierra Lepla. Braden Leesner. Carson Liming. Piper Leininger. Cody Lockard. Eric Locker. Kaylee Long. Haley Mabry. Alyssa Magato. Tara McClure. Nicole McDermott. JC McGee. Meredith McMurray. Kyle Melke. Brianna Miller. Mackenzie Miller. Jacqueline Mines. Katrina Monbeck. Jordan Moore. Abigail Morlino. Madison Morris. Lauren Mullins. Nicholas Myers. Courtney Nuss. Chloe Oliar. Allison Orick. Jonathan Ott. Aaliyah Patterson. Beth Perry. Sean Perry. Brooklyn Price. Jordan Pruitt. Clay Quellhorst. Courtney Ream. Skylar Ream. Dorian Regadans. Dakota Rennig. Delaney Reynolds. Ethan Rose. Devin Ross. John Rupert. Keegan Sawmiller. Kirsten Snelly. Mitchell Sewer. Rachel Slay. Piper Sloan. Kyla Smith. Presley Smith. Howard Spencer. Dustin Steele. Tristan Storer. Elizabeth Sutton. Jason Taylor. Evan Tennant. Adam Thompson. Colin Thornsberry. Christian Triplett. Madison Troglin. Gabriel Vandeveer. Noah Vogel. Charles Walter. Jacob Westerfield. Emma White. Preston Weekert. Braden Weholder. Jacob Will. Tia Williams. Benjamin Wise. Ian Young. Tyler Young. Mitchell Ziegenbusch. Courtney Zumbrogel. Laura Fry. Tobias Holzer. Charlotte Worthkin. Congratulations to the class of 2019.
Some of these apples don't far fall from the tree. Now I see where some of the kids get it from. At this time, I'd like to ask the senior choir members to come forward under the direction of Mrs. Heindel. They will sing the senior song, Home. At the conclusion of the senior song, they will lead us in the singing of the Memorial High School alma mater. At that time, I invite everybody to stand and sing the alma mater with us. The words are in your program. Spencer on the guitar. Now I invite you to please stand as we sing the alma mater.
To all of the adults that have helped us get to this point, thank you. You've helped raise wonderful young adults. Look, we are high school graduates. It never would have happened without the impact each and every one of you have made on each and every one of us. To all our role models, thank you. Graduates. Hey you, yes you are worthy of congratulations. 4 years of high school, 13 years of schooling, you have been through it all. You made it through all the state tests, all the exams, all the projects, and all the homework assignments. All of this schooling has helped you grow as an individual. Take these experiences into your future. You are worthy of congratulations. Hey you, yes you are memorable. Whether you know it or not, you have made an impact on someone else. The things you have said and the ways you have acted will be remembered. Not only are you memorable, but so are the echoes of our schooling careers. We have made memories, and our growth has shown through them. From elementary field days to high school memorial games, and Little League baseball to varsity athletics, from the 5th grade cookie concert to marching band, from 2nd grade spelling tests to foreign language translations, from reading counts to Romeo and Juliet, from midget football to Friday night lights, you are memorable. Hey you, yes you are done, but you are not finished. Although this part of the book has come to a close, your story is not over. Each day is a new page, each month a new chapter. There are novels waiting out there for you to write, figuratively and literally. This feeling you are having right now will never be felt again. Savor it. Savor all your memories while you are still in the moment. High school is over, but there is so much more out there. You are done, but you are not finished. Hey you, yes you will find yourself in dark places. You already have. What really matters is how you grow from times of despair. Throughout your high school careers, you have made it through more than what a teenager should have to go through. You watched the community come together more than once to grieve and heal the loss of our dear friends. You saw your entire city come together around Christmas to help at Goodfellows. You were a shoulder to cry on, and you cried on someone else's. You are a different person than you were last month, last year, 4 years ago. You will continue to change and grow through the good times and the bad. One of your senior quotes beautifully speaks to this message. Sometimes, when you're in a dark place, you think you have been buried. Perhaps you have been planted. Bloom. Hey you, yes you have a bright future. You may have an entire plan of who and where you will be in 10 years, or you may have absolutely no clue what you're doing next week, and either option is okay. Keep your morals or find your morals. Love each other. Do good works. Make a difference. Go out into the world and serve. You have a bright future. Hey, you. Yes, you. Congratulations to you, the class of 2019.
This episode of Rider Nation Station has been sponsored by American Manufacturing Solutions, your total logistic partner, investing in the St. Mary's community. Albert Sporting Goods at 121 West Spring Street, serving the St. Mary's community since 1980. Plus One Professionals Real Estate, selling St. Mary's from the corner of Spring and Chestnut since 1982. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success and supporter of the Rider Nation and the St. Mary's community. The Evening Leader, chronicling the history of St. Mary's for over 100 years. Like a good neighbor, Laura Yelton, your local State Farm agent, is there.